Well, rules for thee, but not for me, took off in 2021. Over the past year, top Democratic leaders came under fire for breaking their own COVID rules while pushing mandates onto the American people. Squad member AOC now joining the list of COVID hypocrites after she was captured maskless, enjoying a cocktail in Miami, Florida. Critics blasting the far-left progressive for whining and dining as New York faces record-high numbers of COVID cases. Let's bring in Charlie Hurt, opinion editor for The Washington Times and Fox News contributor. Charlie, great to see you. This is rich, isn't it? AOC jetting off to Florida, sans mask, drink in hand on Miami Beach after criticizing the state for more lax COVID rules than her state of New York. The Republican governor there, Ron DeSantis, who she has called out many times, had this to say on Twitter. He said, "Welcome to Florida, AOC. We hope that you are enjoying a taste of freedom here in the Sunshine State. Thanks at Ron DeSantis. Oh, thanks to at Ron DeSantis's leadership." Well,
it's so delightful. I mean, and you know, who can blame her? Who doesn't want to go down to Florida and enjoy a cocktail with your friends and enjoy the freedom and the fresh air? It's absolutely delightful. The problem is that AOC, along with a lot of her colleagues in Congress and elsewhere, have chosen to spend the last 2 years politicizing every aspect of this pandemic in order to advance their own personal political careers and goals. And the problem with that is that you can't then complain when you get absolutely roasted by everybody, including Ron DeSantis himself, when you go down to the state where the governor is, according to them, a murderer who's trying to kill all the people in Florida, and you enjoy his rules as opposed to all of the draconian rules that are in place in your state where COVID numbers are spiking like nowhere else we're seeing anywhere in the country.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how she responds. You know, it'll be on Twitter, so a quick
and it
advice
will
for her.
probably be pretty good, too.
Yeah, it'll be good. And of course, we've seen so many of these blunders over rules, as I mentioned, at the start of the pandemic, mostly all from Democratic politicians. Here in California, Governor Gavin Newsom eating maskless at the French Laundry when many in California couldn't even go to an outdoor restaurant. Governor Gretchen Whitmer allowing her husband to name drop so he could take out the family boat, and the list goes on. Just quickly before I turn to another topic, do their supporters actually care? Or do they overlook this and just look to their policies?
Well, I think that they do because, the problem with hypocrisy is the way that it cuts along, quite frankly, along financial lines in a lot of ways. I mean, you look at people like Gavin Newsom and AOC, the reason that they get to enjoy the fruits of their hypocrisy is because they can afford to. The sad part of it is a lot of the people who vote for these people, who live in California or live in New York, who support AOC, they don't have the means to go get on a plane and go fly to Florida and enjoy the fresh air there. They're stuck with the rule. They have nowhere to go. They're stuck with those rules back at home. And that's the appalling part of hypocrisy. And that's why it's so dangerous in politics. And it always comes back to bite these politicians who do this kind of thing.
Yeah. Let's switch to another topic. I want to ask you about disgraced CBS anchor Dan Rather, who tried to weigh in on the Let's Go Brandon movement sweeping the country. Here's what he said in a tweet. He said, "Let's go Brandon really means you can't handle the truth." That prompted quite a reaction or a backlash on Twitter with lots of comments reminding Dan Rather that he had to step down from CBS News for going on the air with fabricated documents related to George W. Bush's service in the National Guard less than 2 months before that presidential election, and on 60 Minutes no less. So should Dan Rather have thought twice about tweeting those remarks out? What do you think?
As Shakespeare said, this above all, to thine own self be true. If you don't know who you are and you don't know how the world views you, you're at quite a disadvantage. And Dan Rather apparently is smoking his own stuff because he doesn't realize what the world realizes about him. And you're exactly right. He went on air with fabricated documents on the eve of an election, and it was all part of an effort. And I'm not, we don't know entirely exactly how much Dan Rather knew was false and wasn't false, but the fact is he was at the very best a useful idiot in an effort on the eve of an election to destroy a political candidate. And that's pretty appalling stuff. And the whole reason you're supposed to be a smart journalist, a smart reporter, is you're supposed to know when you are being used. And again, that's the best light possible. And so for him to sort of wander out and start lecturing the rest of the world about handling the truth or the truth alone is pretty amazing. And it's a pretty startling reminder of how much people are capable of not realizing exactly who they are.
Yeah, and that was the fine point that was put on his career. He had to step down from CBS News after 24 years
That's right.
there. Charlie Hurt, thank you so much for your reaction here, and Happy New Year to you.
Great to see you. Happy New Year.